Welcome back to God's Autobiography. My name would be Stephen French, and I am back on Long Island after a 3-week impromptu break. And I only made one video when I was in Colorado, so I guess now is a good time to do a little bit of a catch-up. So I think tomorrow will be 3 weeks ago that I left for Colorado. I made it out there just in time to catch the very tail end of TSG, or Torque Summer Gathering. So I just got to chill with the homies that were staying after and getting ready to move on to the next gathering. So we were there for, I think, close to a week, a few days, and I jumped in the car with, there was myself, Dylan, Quinton, Jordan, and Arena, and we drove on down to Utah for the Triceratops gathering. Fucking fantastic gathering. Kyle Hudson is a king of a human, and he hosts an incredible event. So we drive down in Dylan's Subaru. I think it's maybe a 10-hour drive overall, since we were stopping off at Moab. Coolest fucking place in the world to be. Want to at least go there if you can. Big fucking, I forgot what they call them, like windows or something, but big loops of red stone that just don't belong anywhere on earth. It's really fucking cool. We got there I want to say like 2 in the morning, and as we pulled in, Dylan's clutch started to squeal and it was having a hard time shifting. So that was a bit of a concern, starting this adventure off the right way. But when we get there, the stars are fucking absurd. Like, this might be like the 3rd or 4th time that I've properly seen the Milky Way. More shooting stars. You always kind of get those when the sky is clear enough. It was absolutely amazing. It was a fantastic time. We hiked off into the woods a few times, not woods, but off trail stuffs a few times, and then we crashed for the night and waited around for the sunrise so we could watch it at Moab. The place in the daytime is spectacular as well. Then we dipped out of there with just like a few minutes before we needed to actually pay for being at the park. So from there, we head on down to Kyle Hudson's house, somewhere in Utah. I don't have any goddamn clue where we were, but we get there for the start of the gathering. We meet up with the same people that we were chilling with out in Colorado that weren't in the car with us, as well as a few others and some locals. And we get ready to go down to the Salt Flats for that part of the gathering. Salt Flats are another fucking cool place that everyone needs to see. Just absurdly flat for absurdly far, and it's vast, and you feel tiny, and it's awesome. But Dylan didn't really want to bring his car because as we were driving around, I think earlier that day or the day before, it had like outright like stalled in an intersection. His clutch wouldn't work. He couldn't get out of gear. Ended up getting fixed, and it was clunky, but we were able to keep moving. So I think the morning that we were supposed to go to the Salt Flats, we bring the car to to an auto body shop, and our mechanic, and Dylan drops out the car, and the guy's like, yeah, but you need to go buy a clutch kit and bring it back, and then I can like maybe work on this on Monday. So we asked to use one of their vehicles, but we find out the place was close enough that we walk. They don't have any. So we get back to the shop, and the owner of the shop decides to drive us around. I guess he is tight with Kyle Hudson's father, so he's kind of like, hey, my son's friend has a problem, can you help him out? So he drove us around to a few places. We ended up finding a clutch kit. We go back to the metal shop. I keep calling it a metal shop. We go back to the mechanic, and Dylan goes to back his Subaru in, and they were going to try to get somebody out there on the next day, Sunday, to work on it. As he's reversing into the shop, the clutch completely fucking shatters. Just sounds like someone sprinkling metal debris out from the car, and it just doesn't work anymore. He had to like palm punch the car out of reverse so we could actually push it in. But yeah, it was hilarious timing because we couldn't go anywhere else at the worst time because we needed to go to the Salt Flats. But Kyle Hudson's mom is awesome. We got to use her van. We drove out to the Salt Flats. We get out there, they have a trampoline set up, they've got a few tents, there's just people throwing tricks in some like smoke bombs, and fantastic, just really, really fucking cool. If you look up Triceratops or Salt Flats tricking, you could probably find clips from this year's event, as well as the other years were great. If you check out Jack Farmer Brown's sampler called Bear on Vimeo, it is a fully nude tricking sampler in the Salt Flats. Fucking hilarious, awesome place to be. Usually usually they would stay there, not for like a camp out, but they'd stay pretty late at night and start setting off some fireworks. But right when it started to get dark, it also started to get very fucking windy, like edging on a sandstorm. It was really, really neat. everyone else was kind of like bummed her. They were like trying to pack up their stuff and getting ready to go, and they were upset to leave so early. But I thought that the windstorm was fucking crazy cool. I was loving it. But we make it back to Hudson's house. We have the actual gathering at a local gym. Great time. The battles were pretty fucking intense. I found out that my knee still doesn't quite like to do tricks on flat ground, but I did some cork swipes that make me think that once my knee is good, I'm gonna have cork snapu pretty quick. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And then from there, we wait around a few days and we get the car fixed. We drive back on up to Colorado. I did one tattoo down there. I did the word consistency on my friend Renato's ankle, and he did, this might be tough to see, this little mushroom. He just kind of sketched it up, and he wanted to tattoo somebody, so it was fun. Make our way back to Colorado. I think I had tattooed Scott Browder. I tattooed him in Neo when I started to formulate this plan on going back to Colorado, and then I tattooed him again. I did a Zeke, a little elf character, up on his quad. Then we did the Utah tattoos, and we came back, and I tattooed my friend Quentin, who came in the car with us, tattooed a symbol on his calf. I think it means inner strength, but I don't quite remember what it's from. And I tattooed a Greek word Vus on my friend Dylan. It was his first tattoo, and I think it was Quentin's first tattoo as well. And Vus has a really deep meaning for him that I don't know how to put into words in a short form factor, so I won't try, but it's Nous. I think I was saying Vus because the lowercase n in Greek looks like a V. But that was a lot of fun. I didn't get to do as many tattoos as I was hoping. And then we started to formulate what my plans would be after Colorado, and we landed on a few of the people, the two Australians we were with, Renato, who I tattooed, and Dougie, and then two Colorado locals, Ashley and Rachel, were going to go out to Trickstrong in New York City. So I jumped on a plane with them. We flew out to LaGuardia, which is retarded. Never fly to LaGuardia if you're going to New York City, unless you know someone that lives really fucking close, or if you have any concrete plan. We did not. Do not fly to LaGuardia. JFK is so much easier. You can get to Penn so easy and do everything else from there. It's great. But we get to LaGuardia. We walk around pretty much aimlessly for what felt like an hour, and then 45 minutes. And then we finally land on grabbing an Uber. I still have to pay Ashley for one of those Ubers. And we sit for about an hour. And about an hour later, after the Uber picks us up, we can look back to see where he picked us up. LaGuardia is fucking awful. He said Thursdays and Sundays are the worst. Don't go on either of those days. By my anecdote, don't ever go. JFK is better. So that sucks. But we finally get to the gym in Brooklyn. We finally start meeting up with all the Trickstrong people. We ventured around the city for a bit. We slept most uncomfortably in the third floor above Zoo. Most people slept on the concrete floor. Some people had air mattresses. Me and friend Anthony Barato, we found futons that were harder than the concrete, it seemed. Fucking awful sleep. I have a terrible knot in my back now. But it was a good time. We wake up, we start moving around the city, and we eventually make our way down to Central Park, where everyone is kind of reunited, and they announce King of the Floor. They make their teams. If you don't know what King of the Floor is, YouTube that shit. It's hilarious. I was almost able to be the person who tattooed everybody as one of the challenges for King of the Floor, but I'm pretty sure I left my power cord in Colorado, and I also wasn't sure if I was going to stay at the event for the whole weekend. So didn't get to do those. Went back to the gym, did some of those, well, I didn't do it, watched those battles. Just fantastic time. I just hit up 2.5, maybe, well, 2 gatherings if you include the end of Torque Summer Gathering and the first half of Trickstrong and Trickceratops, and I'm loving it. And the plan now, 3 weeks later, is I'm back on Long Island. I'm hoping to work at my metal shop again. I text my boss there, and he said okay, and that was it. So pretty sure I'm going to be working in the metal shop again. I'm going to be here for about a month. Then I'm going to fly out to Kansas City for another gathering. I'm going to fly out for Dubsurd. From there, I'm going to fly out to Georgia, and I'm going to go stay with my dad for a couple more months. That's where I just was before Long Island the other time. And I'll probably be there till maybe November. I've got a buddy getting married in upstate New York mid-November. I'm going to go meet up with that friend Anthony I mentioned. He's out in Syracuse when I'm out for all of that going on. And then my plans from there depend on how much money I can save. Taking this 3-week break off and resetting myself makes it such that this is probably not going to happen. But if by January I can put together about $3,000 that I don't need immediately, I can go out to Thailand with a good friend of mine and stay there for a month or two. That would be neat. I'm trying to figure that out. So if not, or just after, I'm trying to move back to Colorado. I would like to be there maybe for a year or two. I haven't stayed anywhere that long in a couple of years, and it could be neat. I still have plans to backpack the world. I still have plans to move into a van. I just have a lot of time to do these things, and I'm getting really excited about the adventures that are coming up. So I think 11 minutes is good enough for this video. Stephen Gregory French. I'm having a fantastic time. Life continues to be hard, and I fucking love it. And yeah, share me your stories. I want to know other people's adventures. This is just my own little catalog, and I want to broaden that.